One. Okay, Paul.
Okay.
So we've known
Mm.
each other for long ass time, right?
Yeah, 2009 we met.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is it? What is it? Hermano de say what is it?
Hermano de otra madre.
Hermano de otra madre, brother from another mother. Amazing guy, the best guy you could ever meet. Totally on the ball. Um, Met in Utah. Dude's from
You were saying
Argentina.
takes one to
He's
know one.
He's now living the fucking dream in Costa Rica. I'm gonna go down there and visit him here as soon as I fucking can. But Paul, me and you go back and forth, and I gave you a dream interpretation last night. It was pretty fucking mind blowing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. We were on the phone for hours, and you were just like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." Every last thing you needed to know. And you were like, I don't know what this means. This weird animal came up, and this weird animal came up. And I was describing to you yep, 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 yep. How
That's
powerful
so
was that dream?
crazy.
How
Like
powerful was that?
now looking back on it again, I could see how um it like last night the dream felt like something that was coming from inside of me, something that was happening in the moment.
Mhm.
Whereas before, it was like just a story almost, or some pictures.
Right. It didn't make sense. There's all fantasy, weird stuff about you running
It
into
was
weird
cool. It
looking
was a really nice
animals and
dream. It was really
yeah.
awesome dream.
But then when I described it, and I didn't even know all this information, like it related exactly to not only what it symbolized in your life, but exactly what you needed to know at that time and the most important thing you needed to know, right?
Well, yeah, yeah, basic things. That's easier for you to say because it's those things that come from a more unaware place, right? That um like it's easy to say that this is what I need to hear. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Um,
An important part of
but
that dream involved an armadillo, right?
but it was constantly all throughout just related to to internal experiences. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
something tangible, something
Yeah.
real, occurring for me, and
And it was spur of the moment. It wasn't like, oh, we're doing a dream sesh. We were just chatting, and I was like, dude, tell me your dream.
it
And
was
we went
like
through it, and you were
it
like,
was
oh
like
my God, like,
an hour that I couldn't believe how, yeah, like first of all, how passionate you were on me. It was like you
yeah,
were dreaming with me, man.
right, right, right.
Yeah,
So,
that was pretty blowing, mind blowing.
so an important part of that dream involved an armadillo, didn't it?
Yeah, and even at one moment when we're talking about, remember the goat and
Yeah.
the qualities of the goat, that suddenly it was my number, you
Uh-huh.
know, palindrome, which I'd been seeing for the last 3 years, all the time, always, and like one another number and repeated the first number, a number that you could read backwards or forwards, and it was just my date, birth
Yeah.
date,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
my number from always, right? And then under it another palindrome, right? So
So let's
two numbers
explain
on
that.
top of each other at that same time when we were talking about that, and that I noticed that we didn't pay attention to the time pretty much throughout the
So
whole conversation.
let
Or
let's
what?
let's explain that for the audience here. So, so
And we
when you
looked at that number and it was talking about
wait,
exactly
wait,
what
wait.
the goal in that moment.
So let's explain this for the audience here. Not only was it a dream interpretation, but when you do this kind of stuff, you get all these weird synchronicities. So certain numbers mean certain things to certain people. So like if you see 1111 or 111 222, that's sync. For me, I have certain numbers like 38 is a number for me that comes up for certain reasons. For you, palindromes come up.
99 or 92.
Palindromes, so like 121 or
929.
343, right? And
That's the
so
clock time. Almost since I stepped into this vortex here, it's
yeah,
been, I only
oh
see
yeah.
the time a couple times a day and it's palindrome.
So when we hit the most important part of the dream, you look at the clock and it's 929. It's a palindrome, one of your synchronistic numbers just hits you right
Yeah,
there, right?
and my birth date also.
and your birthday. It also all synchronistic. And then we look up what that number means, and what did we find that it means? It means like this is an important message. I mean, this is all going on outside of the dream interpretation while we're doing it, right?
Yeah, well, because like I'm going into dreams a lot recently. Not just dreams, but the concept of dream. Um, and life, for the uh, Tibetans, it's uh, lucid
Mm-hmm.
dreaming that they come to. They say that we don't need to be sleeping to dream. So uh,
Yeah, yeah,
our
yeah, yeah.
our live state, our wake state right now, the potential it has, seeing I don't know, lately I've been seeing dreams as seeds also, and then the not just the tree, but the forest is in the seed. And our awareness or lucidity of the moment almost determines the dream somehow.
Exactly, exactly. And but an important part of this dream is that it was one of those dreams that seemed as real as like us talking. It didn't seem like a dream, and that's when you know it's important. That's when you know
I
it's really important.
a lot like I felt in the dream, where when we were talking about it, when we were interpreting it. Um and it's not a sensation that is maybe all throughout the day, all the time,
Hmm.
but I think that it's when I'm feeling best.
Exactly. Now I want to hit on something. An important part of that dream was an armadillo, right? What happened right after that dream involving an armadillo?
Well, he calmed down. It
No, no,
was,
no, 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 no. What happened in your real life after we got off that call involving an armadillo?
oh, yeah, last night actually an armadillo walked through the garden.
Yeah, yeah. He's we did this dream and an armadillo was an important part. And then like a few minutes later, he's like, dude, an armadillo literally just walked right fucking past me after our call.
I want to say there's a lot of animals going through, and that armadillo, I don't know if it's the same one, but an armadillo has only passed twice in the last year and a few months that I've been living here. So it's not like
Only
every day an
twice.
armadillo is walking by.
Yeah, yeah. Like in the past few years, he's only seen it twice. One was right after that call. No, no,
Yeah.
no. Switching gears for a minute. Me and you, we just chit chat, dude. We just have fun. And I'm like, dude, let me pull up your chart. Going over your astrology, and you're like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. How has that been for you? For me to kind of give you that astrological perspective.
Wait, how it's been for you? What do you mean?
How's it been for you? Because we'll be talking, and I'll be pulling up your chart, going over stuff, and you'll be like, "That is 100% true. That is 100% true. That is 100%." And I'm not even doing it with you. I'm doing it with like people that I don't know, and you're like, "Yes, that's
It actually feels um there's this book I've been on and off with here. It's called Anamkara. It means soul friend. Um, in Celtic. It's about Celtic wisdom and
yeah,
our friendship with ourselves or the universe and life in that manner is really, really important, vital aspect to, you know, contemplate, develop,
yeah, man,
and and that's a big feeling that I got by while we were doing this because um, sorry about that.
are you good to talk? Keep talking.
So the bike had to move.
Oh yeah. So, so, so,
So
so,
that's what
so.
I felt like the craziness of how I could be showing myself stuff in my dreams. Like, cool. Like, I really love myself. Not in a vain way, but
No, you love yourself in a confident way. That's one of the
in a
best things
supportive
about you.
way.
You got
Yeah,
that
in a
Leo
supportive
energy,
way.
man.
And even in like beyond our conscious, like and even in an unconscious way, we're supporting because many times we even create out to be the opposite, think that
Yep.
it's like all a counterfight. I don't know how to explain, and like things seem to be going the wrong way, but maybe it's just us looking the wrong way, you
I
know?
agree. I agree. And dude, I'm gonna hit you up after this, and then we're gonna chat more. But I just want to hit on this point. You think this that stuff that me and you've just done casually as friends, do you think that's worth like starting a business over? You think I could actually get paid for that?
For sure.
And
Beyond
no, no,
down
no, no.
a
I don't
lot.
know
I
if you
think
want me to
it's
include
like one of
this.
those things that if people are speculative on whether it's a worthy investment or not, they're really missing out because with so many things you can put money into, if you don't realize the transcendence of the experience
Right.
and the basically like
Can I say something?
yeah.
The question is maybe also, does he feel valued to be paid for that?
Yeah, well, because it says, do you feel valued to be paid for that? Which,
I'm starting to now. I'm starting to
yeah,
now. But at the same time, with someone like you, I'm never going to get paid for it. And that leads to the next thing. And I can cut this out if you don't want me to include it. I understand.
no,
Okay.
no, no, it's
No, no,
okay.
no.
No, I actually think it's worth it
No, no, no.
because,
I haven't said it yet. I haven't said it yet. I haven't said
oh,
it yet.
okay.
So, and I cut this out, but you're starting something down there, right? You're starting a retreat. You've offered me to be paid for my services there, and I've refused to do that, and I continue to refuse to do that. Is that true? I just want to give the people the perspective here. I want to give people a perspective. I cut this part out, and I continue to refuse that, by the way.
Either way, I think it's fine. Like, um,
I
I
want to
think this,
teach you how to do
I
it, is
think
the
it's one
thing.
of these things that really the value just holds dearest to the treasure of your heart
Well,
and
my whole
like
thing is it's better to teach a man a fish than to give him a fish. So with you in that situation, I'm more about teaching you how to do dream interpretation. But I just want to put that out there as part of this thing that,
basically what basically your interpretation was not just telling me, okay, well, the dream means this, you know.
no, it
You
was
were
deep.
teaching me about like I think that just from that, even without like going back on contemplating and trying to jot down what things I learned from the interpretation we did, you know, like, okay, so this means this, and then that represents that, and this is being this, blah, blah, blah. Even without going back onto the just whatever dream comes next, I already have a different
You already
awareness
you
of
already
it,
know what to look for. You already know what to look for.
already
Yeah.
seeing it with a different. That doesn't mean that I might not hit you up
Oh, you
to
should. You should hit me
reason.
up whenever, dude. Hit me up
Um,
whenever. But then here's the thing though. Remember what I did? I didn't just say, okay, here's your dream interpretation. I said, okay, well, let's think about how this relates to you. How does this part relate to your past? How do you feel like you've grown past it? How does this particular animal you ran into, what it represents,
yeah,
has
yeah,
that been
and
part of your past?
not necessarily do you ask me like to answer this how it does, but you can um like make reference. Like I know that yesterday I lived a lot of things internally that I wasn't speaking out onto everything that
Yeah.
these things were meaning for me and representing. You know, we're following along. It's not a confessionary, you know, and uh it, basically it's tools and I got to feel close to it in a way that um you know, like I said, it was almost happening to me. These things,
I could
just
see
that
it. I could
sensation
see
I
it.
loved of seeing how these things, they're representing things um in us. They're aspects of
Yeah.
ourselves.
And you know, me as a really open-hearted, loving, service-other person, watching you see that and understand and go through that process, that's reward enough in itself. But like Kirsten said, you got to get to the point where it's like, well, you know what? Is there an energy exchange needs to happen? Should I get paid for it? That's taken me years, and now I think I'm starting to get to that point. You know. So, but with you, it's always gonna be free because you're fucking badass. You good friend, but you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean that's where kind of where I'm going with this. I mean, dude, I mean I've got folders and folders and folders and files of dreams I've written down for years since I've been doing it since I was 16 years old. Read over a dozen books on it, dude. And I have done this with so many people. Unfortunately, I don't talk to a lot of them. A lot of them were ex-girlfriends, but they would attest too. It's the same shit. It's like, yeah, and it's not, I, it's not me. I want to teach you how to do it. I want to teach you. So if any session that I give isn't just going to be, oh, here's your dream interpretation, it's going to be like, okay, well, okay, water in dreams represents emotions. So if you're being drowning, if you're drowning, that typically means that you're being overwhelmed by emotions. That way they can take that with them and they can then learn how to interpret the dreams more and more themselves. That's my goal. Is teach a man to fish rather than give him a fish.